we pushed that album, and Universal thought that because of our efforts, it allowed them to sell over 50,000 units. And so they came to the radio station one day with a gold plaque to give us, to congratulate us for our efforts in pushing that album.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
You ever thought you would, you're not an artist per se, but you ever thought you would win a plaque for something like that ever?
No. Not when I was at Pearson dreaming about being a DJ. None of these, meeting artists that I only heard on wax or my dad played, the whole experience in itself. I would never have guessed it would have reached to that point. You know what I mean? But going through the journey now, you kind of know what you're capable of doing, and you know what your value is. You kind of understand things a little bit more in your power, and it was definitely a high point. It's a blessing as well. You know what I mean? Just to solidify what our role is important, and we're making a difference in some way,
on a real big scale. But you see, this is where it almost gets really interesting, because while you guys are excelling on radio, the dance hall where you guys are coming from is kind of lashing out per se. Some of the sound guys are lashing out because they're figuring you guys are now commercial.
Yeah, but you see that's a history of staying in the streets or being commercial. Like what is it? Like you don't feel happy. You feel happy when someone's in the street struggling, but when they're successful in a certain way, it's like, oh, the man them rare. Yeah. The same thing they did to Bob Marley. Yeah. Everybody's praising Bob Marley and all this king of reggae music, but when Bob Marley was doing his thing, Jamaica was burning him out.
Okay.
Right? Oh, the man them Bob Ton, you know what I mean? Funky, everything there, you know what I mean? Like, while deep down the ghetto, they're playing, whoever is the popping Mighty Diamonds or whatever, a big youth and them man there, control that part of it, and Bob Marley's gone pop.
Yeah.
It's Sean Paul.
Yeah. Same thing.
Same thing. It ain't no different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we became so popular, and we were a threat to a lot of the sounds, and so they formed a coalition to stop us from playing.
What?
Yeah, man. The fight was real, man.
And what was it that they were? When you say formed a coalition, like they wanted to ban you guys from playing certain places, or what was the whole premises of this coalition?
Yeah, it was just basically these sounds play together.
Yeah.
And, when they said they want to hire King Turbo because we were hot, we were the sound. Yeah. They said, no, they're not playing, or they're not using their sound system, or whatever the case is. Yeah. So it was about 4 or 5 of them that I knew about that made sure we weren't playing. And then the police, at that time you had Just Desserts situation going on. So the police were cracking down on the dance hall. And just like everything else, who is the leading king of the dance hall?
So you guys again.
So they were cracking, they were stopping any dances that we were part of.
So this is when, because a lot of people don't know, because a lot of people nowadays, they hear dance hall and reggae in clubs, but they don't realize that you guys were the ones that really introduced it that way to the club. So I guess at this time, they were stopping the downtown dates, or they were stopping the uptown dates?
Well, the dance hall, like the groundation of it, you know what I mean? In terms of what you were mentioning about the uptown or the downtown situation, I remember when we first started to play the clubs, the real reggae songs were saying, you guys water it down, you guys sell out, you guys start playing clubs, but look at it now. You know what I mean? Now reggae in clubs is, when we played, I remember our first dance in a club, and they put us on. The club owner said, no, I want red wine and Bob Marley. Seeing? So the promoter came to us and said, this is what the club owner wants.
Yeah.
We just totally ignored it. and we just beat through and Capleton and thing there, you know what I mean? Ooh, this shit by me.
Of course.
All them tune there, you know what I mean? And we just beat it.
Yeah.
And then what happened was our crowd from East went downtown to see us play downtown. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when the bar was selling out, the owner started to say, okay, play whatever you want. Yeah, play whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Different story now.
We opened up the door for the sounds now to play downtown because that was unheard of back then. You take risks.
100%.
You take risks. Being ahead of the game in that sense, you take risks. You're gonna get the backlash regardless. But the big picture is it's your people, it's your fans that you really have to concentrate on versus what a next sound man is saying. You know what I mean? But we were kind of soft on the groundation of it because we're getting a fight from both police and other sound man. It was crazy, man.
What you guys have been through, a lot of people on the outside have no idea because three-quarters what you're saying to me right now, I had no clue. Okay, you heard the whispers about being on the radio. They didn't want you back in the basement parties. You heard that, but you didn't really know that, okay, now the police got involved. We didn't know it got that serious after.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So because they tried to stop us that way, we couldn't do anything about the police.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? But the sound man, them, it came to where we were not happy-go-lucky, but, you know, everyone be friends kind of thing, to a more aggressive King Turbo where now we're going to be aggressive and deal with people in a certain way.
Your back is against the wall now. So then it's either we're gonna swim or we're gonna sink at this point. We know the business now. We know the politics. We know how it works. So what are we gonna do? How are we gonna react to the situation that we're in?
Right. So the way we saw it was everybody was against us. Yeah. All the sound man, them were against us. So now we're gonna put it on them. You know what I mean? So that's where the reaches went out the window. And it was more like, you know, hardcore boy, you know what I mean?
And who was the first one to really, was that when, could we say this was around the clash with you and Black Reaction, that was around that time there?
That we started to
really go hard.
It was the heavyweight clash.
It was from the heavyweight clash.
Yeah, we started to go hard with the heavyweight clash kind of thing. Because if you listen to the Red Flame clash versus the heavyweight clash, it was more, we're more raw. While heavyweight was, you know, kind of semi. I don't say, you know what I mean? Now select that kind of thing. You know what I mean? We weren't dealing with that kind of stuff because we understood. But it that was a performance. But the attitude now of, you know, you guys are against us, we're going to fight you guys back, came when the sound man them did their little box us out thing, and the police was, you know what I mean? So it was more, so now this is our food. Yeah. This is what we live on. It's not like we had a night
on the side.
Yeah, no, we lived on this. We paid our rent. Yeah. We ate. We bought records on music because we believed in what we were doing, thinking that we were different from a lot of other sounds, and that we actually had something to offer the world. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know, everyone's dreaming of being big and whatever, and everyone in their mind think, okay, they're the greatest thing, or just give me a chance and I'll be the greatest thing. It manifests in us, you know what I mean?
You guys showed it. Instead of just thinking it, it really came. Hey,
right. So it was like,
who you're talking
this is our work. I get up in the morning, I mix. Yeah. I practice mixing. Then we talk about music. Afternoon, mix CD, or not CD, tape. Yeah. Mix. Put this mix, practice, mix, talk. Everything.
So you were living it.
Everything was 100%. Music. Everything was music. You know what I mean? Everything. Yeah. Because we all lived together, right? So we got up, music, and then we go out and execute what we're talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was that type of militancy, if you want to call it that, you know? So, so back to the survival. These guys are playing with our food. So we had to become aggressive. There was no more peace and love thing going on, you know?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
No.
Yeah. That's where everything started to get serious now.
Yeah.
As I said, I brought up the Black Reaction Clash. That's another big one in you guys' catalog. But it's some people say yes, some people say no. Some people say King Turbo won, some people say King Turbo didn't win. Walk us through that clash here. How did that clash even come around?
It's, you know what, it was eventually going to happen, man.
Yeah.
You know, between Super Fresh and Black Reaction, there was no way to escape that. You know, we took the clash, and then that was a crazy time, man.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, Specs went off to do his own thing.
Okay.
And then Ricky got in some trouble.
Yes, I remember.
So I was by myself. When we had accepted the clash, everything was fine. I had the elements were all there.
Yeah.
We signed the contract. The elements disappear. So it was me by myself. I called Ron. I said, Ron, I can't do the clash. It's only me by myself. Ron said, oh, you signed the contract, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, man. So I was left, have to deal with this Black Reaction clash by myself, obviously with the help of Sessa and BJ and Monday.
Yeah.
But they didn't play the song.
But as in somebody that has to stand up around the sound and do something.
Yeah.
You were the only one left standing.
Yeah. And then gradually Specs came around and he helped me out that night.
Yeah.
Seeing? We were in jungle.
Yeah.
In jungle.
Uh-huh.
In Black Reaction's territory. Right? Our East End people, that's one thing about Clash. Our people from the East always followed us. And we went in there. Black Reaction had more tunes than us.
At that time there.
What?
What?
Yeah, man. Them man, they were stacked. Imagine. I didn't have tunes like that, man. We didn't have tunes like that.
At that point there? Nah,
man. I could tell you one thing. We went to Jamaica. We played a dance in Jamaica with I'll get back to that clash. We played a dance in Jamaica. It was us, Exodus Nuclear, and what's the next song? Exodus Nuclear and Space Invader. Was this Space Invader? Star Wars or something like that.
A Roadstar?
No. It was Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're in St. Thomas. St. Thomas More.
That song you're talking about was around for a hot, just like about a year or two and disappeared.
Yeah, we're Morans Bay players. And so when we took out our records, everyone has their own table. We had one transco box.
Right. And if you know, the transco box is this thin.
when Exodus took out their dubs, the only good thing is that we played with Exodus a couple of times here in Canada.
Okay.
So they were cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew them because we played here and in Montreal with them, and we did a tour with them, so they were good. But in Jamaica, they took out 2 tables.
Yeah.
Dubs, stacked. And we're looking at each other, we're like, blood clot. You know what I mean? So we had our transco box. Under the transco box, inside the transco box, couple of 45s to beef up the box. That's what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that box is thin already, you know.
We had a couple of 45s to go and beef up the box.
Yeah.
There was a debate with, I guess, people that come to the dance early to string up or whatever.
Yeah.
They were behind us saying, that's their dub, like our 12-inch box. They're arguing between each other.
Yeah.
That's their dub box.
Yeah.
No, man, that's their 12-inch. No, that's their dub box. You know what I'm saying? When Exodus was stringing up and tweaking the song, you know what song they played as their tweak? They played Brian Tony Gold on Far East dub plate singing Bullseye. Tweaking up and fixing up the highs and the mids.
I remember that's a massive song at that time there.
On dub. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what I mean? So we've never had dubs to that extent.
Okay.
And we've been surviving. Seeing? So anyways, with the Black Reaction Clash, they had way more songs than us. way more.
Yeah.
They were the next generation of sound,
Yes.
which they came up with like the Addies and Jaro and the
These
bass
super
Addies.
sounds. That's what I call them.
You know what I mean? They were super fresh Black Reaction. They had a bag of tunes like 5 Million Bounty Killers and Beanie Men's and all that kind of stuff. Then you had Digital. You know what I mean? So it was just like, man, how do we survive with that? And then the survival instincts come in again. You know what I mean? It's all these battles that we had faced, we had to take that, whatever that is in yourself to survive that moment. Because well, the thinking that I had at that time is if you lose, that's it for you.
Yeah.
You're done. Your whole journey is gone.
Yeah, so what was the whole point?
You know what I mean? So we went in there and Specs came in and helped me for that clash, you know what I mean? So I definitely rate that still. But before that, it was me by myself leading up to the clash, preparing and all that, and thinking I was going to have to deal with Black Reaction myself, you know? Gimmicks. We learned that from studying Radigan and Wagati and them Monday. So we knew that Blacks, middle name was George, or, you know what I mean? And then we were in jungle. So we played the George of the Jungle. You know what I'm saying?
Legendary move.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
just fuck up the place.
Yeah. Listen, they were right where you're sitting, Blacks and Super K, and they said when you guys dropped that, even they were dying with laughing.
Yeah, man. How and it comes to the survival thing again. How do you do something different? How are you gonna make a difference versus the next? You know what I mean? So yeah, we used George of the Jungle on us in jungle.
That's the most legendary part of that clash. Period. The George of the Jungle. As I said, they were They said all of the them were dying with laughing. You know what I mean?
It mashed down the place, man. We came out of jungle with the trophy.
Crazy.
And I have the trophy at home, you know?
Wow, that was a big one there. Let's get to one other one. Since we're talking about Reaction, let's talk about their partner, Super Fresh. How did that one come up, and what was the build up to that one there in the first place?
It's the same thing, but I think Super Fresh was more aggressive to it. You know what I mean? They were more...
for sure.
You know
no questions asked.
It's like we could not go around that whole encounter. There is no way. You know what I mean? Two can exist without having, because the back and forth thing was going on far too long. You know what I mean? So at that point, you know, again, Super Fresh had more songs than us, and we went into their turf down on West St. Clair. You know what I mean? That clash ended off with Gunshot.
So, okay, since you're sitting here, because I have them scheduled too, who won that clash?
It didn't finish.
It didn't finish?
No, it didn't finish. Technically, it did not finish. Because it ended off with Gunshot. At that point, they were leading, I would say, because they were in their own turf. Right? We were there too. It's not like they were beating us down.
No.
Right? But they might have had a little edge, but it did not finish because the gunshot lights turned on, and you're in their turf. You know how they were back in the days. The man them just take the trophy and say, "Yo, this is my trophy." You know what I mean?
I won.
Okay. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it. So a lot of people would say, "Oh, they won the clash," but it did not finish.
There was no clear decision to say.
No, there was no, last round or tune for tune or people, you know what I mean, who won the clash. There's nothing.
No victory round.
Gunshot, light turn on.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen. People left. And then they took up the trophy and said, "Yo, give me that." You know what I mean? So what are you going to do?
How come that clash never kept again? Since it ended on that note, how come you guys never clashed again one-on-one?
Again, it wasn't something that we felt that we needed to do because we had so much things on our plate. You know, from the radio, from juggling, from traveling. It didn't seem like that would be a good business move at that point.
Because you guys, you guys were very high in your career at that point there.
Yeah, so it wasn't like we made decisions like, is it worth it or not? You know what I mean? For me, the pressure of clashing somebody because they want to clash, it doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
You want to clash me, okay, you know what I mean? But is it worth it?
Yeah.
That's how I thought at that time. That's how we thought, I should say. You know, but we were doing a lot of things that took up the time and more energy to deal with the clashing, because it wasn't a full 100 thing where we're a clash zone. Yeah. We were never a clash zone.
I guess it's people, because you guys were good at it, people kind of almost try to put you in that bracket here as a clash zone.
And we were never a clash zone, official clash zone.
I've heard you say that 10,000 times. And it seems like a lot of times it falls on deaf ears, but I've heard you say that.
Yeah, look at this. Again. Look at this clash flyer here. What does it say here?
Juggling.
See it?
Yeah.
We were never a clash zone, man. It's just that clashing is just juggling with dubs.
Yeah.
And we can juggle.
Yeah.
So we just took that juggling skill and brought it into the clash.
And then it worked, and then here you are.
Right. You know what I mean? So that's how that worked.
Yeah.
But we were never, per se, a clash sound, regardless of what the imagery is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was never the case. So, yeah, there were so many things happening. It just didn't materialize into clashing Super Fresh again, one-on-one, you know?
Because you guys met in couple dances, words here, but it was never official one-on-one again. Let's duke it out.
And you know what I mean, we spoke about it. I've had conversations with Six about it, and people have approached me to do it. But for me, the clash thing is not where I want to concentrate my energy on, because it was fine and lovely, you know, a certain time. But even when we did the Rumble clash there, I turned on that clash at the beginning. Yeah. They had asked me to do it, and I said, nah. You know what I mean? Because the energy to prepare for that, and I had the family and at work, and then I called them back. I called them back and said, you know what? I'll do it. Yeah. Because I had some points to prove to people.
I remember. you know what I mean?
So I'm never really a rah-rah clash person per se. I like music and juggling.
It's just if you have to go into it, you will go in. Yeah. What is your biggest regret on King Turbo? What was a decision that you guys made as a collective that really put you in a situation that you really didn't like?
That's like two questions.
Yeah. Okay, break them down.
Situation that we didn't like. There's many situations that we made decisions that, you know, hindsight 2020 would have done it differently. You know what I mean? But this is part of it. Created the end product of who we are. Yeah. You know what I mean? So can I take it away, or should I do things differently? I don't know. I don't think I would. Yeah. Maybe the only thing I'd probably do is went the business route and trademark the and, you know, contract and everything there. You know, I do everything professional. So cause when you have all chefs in the kitchen, you know what I mean? It's just like
things start to get real quickly.
People lose perspective of certain things, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it started from my vision, and then everybody else came on. Okay. But it was more like a family thing, you know what I mean? So everyone's taking their energy, which they don't have to take this vision and put it into reality. So I wanted that family atmosphere kind of thing, you know what I mean? But so it go.
Yeah. So just give us one situation where you made a decision where you said, you know what, at the end of the day, you don't think this was the right decision for us as a collective.
One. To be honest, I can't even think of one right now, man. But I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's hundreds. Yeah.
But still, you ended up here, you are 30 years later, so clearly it couldn't have been that bad in the first place.
No. Some of them were bad, man. Yeah. I just don't remember, but some of them were, you know, they were pretty bad. Yeah. But again, that's just part of life and growing, you know. To be here for such a long time and to be relevant. Yeah. You know, I look back on the good and the bad and realize they all intertwine to create what it is now, or what it was, or what people think of the sounds, and what we represent in terms of Canada.
Yeah.
So it go,
Makes sense. Okay, this is, when I spoke to you earlier, I told you I wouldn't be 100% transparent if we didn't touch on this topic here. All right? We know King Turbo as Canada's, King Turbo isn't even a sound. King Turbo is an institution. But for a while, you guys been almost acting like a song, if you understand what I mean. You guys are like the, if we're going to say comparison just for argument's sake, the Stone Love of Canada, where people come in and say, you know what, this is part of the institution. You had mentioned that Specs wasn't really around for the Black Reaction Clash. So I guess that's when cracks in the system started to happen from then?
You know what it is? Yes.
Yeah.
But what it is everyone has their own vision.
For sure.
And as much as you would like people to be on the same page, reality is everyone argues and everyone has their own vision. At that point, he had his own vision. Whatever that was to do his thing. Did it affect? Yes, it did. But I respect the fact that he wants to do his own thing.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I can't hold somebody and say, don't do your own thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense. But we have strong personalities. I'm more the laid-back person in the group. You know what I mean? If something's wrong, everyone comes to me to fix it.
Yeah.
Or comes to me to complain. You know what
it
I
works.
mean?
Well, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and I get tired because I envision everyone being a leader in the sense of don't always come to me. Make the decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't always be, but 30 years of that is tiring,
100%.
But again, it boils down to everyone has their own personality. And unfortunately, we get older and we see things differently and we don't agree on certain things. I don't agree on certain things with the rest of them on them, and I'm sure they feel the same way about me.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But the I guess the thing is, because who we are, that whole situation and scenario happens millions of times to other relationships of friends in the world. Because we are public, you see it, and it's more in the forefront. But that whole thing is nothing new in the life.
And relationships and people. 7 brothers, 7 different minds. Right. Brothers and sisters are going to fight, much less a group of friends that came together for one common goal.
Right.
Clearly, we're not going to agree on everything.
Everyone would love to see us be together and sing Kumbaya and ride into the sunset and have a flawless story of success. But reality is that it's not all green grass and roses. You know what I mean?
For sure.
There's been conflicts and all that, and it's been a rocky road for a good part of the whole journey.
Okay.
But people can relate to the fact of the bad energy and the good energy, and as you said, relationships, different minds. It's just people see the ups and downs of what we've done and see our faults.
Yeah.
And see where we came from in the midst of the faults, and can relate to it, and respect us for what we've done, regardless of our faults, because we have faults.
Sense. Human beings.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So,
where did the issue start with Ricky? That's really seems to be the sticking point right now, because as you said earlier on in the story, is where Specs and Ricky, they went to West Hill together. So they were probably...
But they're not the same generation.
Oh, they're not the same generation. They're a couple years apart.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it seems like, from an outsider, a lot of the problems stemmed with Specs and Ricky, and then it seemed to be spill over more into the group after that.
Everyone has strong personalities, man.
Yeah, okay.
They're not going to agree. These guys are passionate, So... When you're right, you're strong right. When you're wrong, you're strong wrong. You know what I mean?
Strength is strength. Doesn't matter which way you're going to twist it.
Every man is passionate. let me go back. My regret is not to be as, I guess, aggressive.
Got you.
Because if I was as aggressive, because I dealt with things on a passive aggressive way,
Got you.
And which did not work in some sense. You know what I mean? Because the man there just, have their own willpower in certain things. But yeah, it's just, again, these guys think differently.
Yeah.
And some would say Specs and Ricky, but me and Specs had Ricky and me, Ricky, you know what I mean? So everybody had their time where they're in conflict, So in a perfect world, no, we wouldn't have. But you know what? Whatever conflict we had before, we put it aside and we accomplished Canada Rumble.
Yep.
We accomplished the first World Clash, and we accomplished the second World Clash.
This is what I wanted to ask you then. Do you think, when I ask you regrets, that's why I asked you specifically, do you think winning World Clash was almost like a curse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we had just won Rumble, I would have got my point proven.
Yeah.
My point was at the time when I was into the Sound Clash board and all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that stuff now, but Turbo King, you guys are not relevant.
Yeah.
And when I hear, and I shouldn't pay attention to what Soundman talk.
Yeah.
But knowing the struggles that we've gone through, and the different things, the barriers that we've broken for these guys to be here today and do what they're doing, it's a form of disrespect.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And so when I hear that, it boils my blood in the sense of what? Because I'm not in the Clash world and you don't really see me at Clashes because a different part of life now, you know what I mean? It does not take away what we've done. So, and then within the group, it was the different personalities. So we needed something to boost us and to prove a point to the naysayers, you know what I mean? And for the people that knew what we were about to say, I told you. You know what I mean? Because I did not, the last time I was involved in a clash was with the tag team clash prior to that.
That was the one with King Eddie's and Mighty Crown?
Mighty Crown.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then, we tried to do the new youth thing where we brought in Sharp and Natural, yes, respect. Sorry. You know what I mean? And I'm giving my suggestions of what I think how it should work.
100%.
But no, I'm just saying when we're preparing.
Okay.
And everyone's trying to override what I'm saying, like I don't know what I'm talking about and that sort of thing. So I'm realizing something here, like because I'm not part of the Clash scene, people kind of think that my way of thought is kind of old and outdated.
Yeah.
Right? So as I said, I at first I said, no, I'm not going to do this Rumble thing. Then I said, okay, you know what? We'll do it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care who we're clashing. You know what I mean? And that's the mentality we came in. Then I rally up the troops and we did it. If we had just had won that, I'd be good.
Go home. Okay, you see, I told you guys we could do this. Everything's good. But then remember, Rumble leads to World Clash.
World Clash. Right? And so, the powers that be allowed us with years of preparation, not just for that clash, but just years of music preparation allowed us to win the first of the two World Clashes.
Yeah.
And that in itself was a manifestation of years of struggle, you know what I mean? Of people saying, you guys ain't going to amount to nothing. Kid Turbo, you think some music is going to put you anywhere? You know what I mean? All this stuff, when we won that World Clash, that's holding that trophy right there was like, yes. Not to say World Clash is defining in the sense of who we are. I do not consider World Clash who King Turbo is.
It's just another journey in the whole journey.
Right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it served its purpose for that time. You know what I mean? But along with winning World Clash comes the good and the bad. You know what I mean? What is good comes, people start, whatever, Canadian pride kind of thing. You kind of, you believe in yourself and it manifests itself that way. And then the bad, you know what I mean? With, if something bad energy is manifesting, success sometimes bring it out, you know what I mean?
Pushes it even further.
Yeah, and make it more manifest, you know what I mean? So even going into the Second World Clash, all that year was a struggle for me.
Okay.
At one point, I didn't even think I was going to do the Second World Clash.
Okay.
The way that things were running. Yeah, man, pure bad energy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I had a talk with one or two of the man them still, and they said, you know what, do it. Mm-hmm. So I did it. We won. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, after winning the Second World Clash, it was like, okay, we prove.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's nice and lovely, but I think it's time for somebody else to get some shine now.
Okay.
We were able to bring the World Clash to Canada. Chin, big up Chin. It wasn't our decision, it was his decision, but the fact is that the Canadian people that have heard about World Clash for so many years and saw it in New York had the opportunity to see it here live.
Yeah. That's true, because you guys were the first one. It's because of you guys winning.
Right.
Brought it to Canada.
Yeah. It inspired enough songs to say, you know what, I want to do Rumble now. Yeah. Right? I want to do this. I can be that. Mm-hmm. Or fuck King Turbo. Yeah. Me, you know what I mean?
I'm going to prove why.
Right. However you took our experience, however you manifested in yourself to get that inspiration to either beat us or do as good or better, it's all good.
Yeah. Because
our role as King Turbo in the industry goes, as you said, more than just being a sound system. It's an inspiration to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are inspired in regards to seeing our story and where we came from, Malvern, and reach to that level. You know what I mean? So I understand our role. And to me, I think, okay, it goes beyond us. Somebody else needs to get a shine.
Yeah.
There's other wicked sounds out there now. Let somebody else get the tour. Because not only us have been working hard, all these songs have been working hard too. I'm not selfish that way there. You know what I mean? Makes sense. I do understand, in order for them to get that, they have to beat us. You
have to pass through me.
Yeah. But really and truly, after winning the second one, I wasn't really into doing another one. How many times am I going to do it?
The same thing over and over. And that's where everything basically switched. Because I'm going to be 100% transparent and honest with you here on this podcast. You see, when you guys went to go clash, when they announced King Turbo and Rootsman, and that's clash, that's when everything basically, it seemed like that's when everything hit a boiling point and everything went out of whack for you guys. And they said, okay, we seen the boards, we seen the messages, okay. Then that night was you and Dicer showed up. The whispers in the crowd, everybody saying, where's Ricky, where's Ricky, where's Ricky, where's Ricky? Okay, you guys got through that one there. Rootsman wonder. Okay, cool. The street said now, okay, Ricky didn't show up, so you're not going to come to World Clash by yourself and give it to you. Our plans as a street was to make sure, by any means necessary, King Turbo's gone first round, because it's now, if Ricky had won, he would have proved his point that, listen, I could do this on my own without the rest of the team. And at that point, we weren't trying to have that.
But you see, that's the thing, though. You know what I mean? It's not about egos and all that kind of stuff. That I've never believed in. No individual should have any rise over any man. Jamming or Fatal, or every man has done everything, has done something, has dedicated their time
for sure
in the song to make the song where it is, regardless if it's a small role or a bigger role. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I created the song. The fact that it's like every man contributed. So every man's important. So
just as important.
No, as a team. I believe in team. I don't believe in one individual saying that they're this and that and the other. It's not Smokey Robinson and the Miracles or Diana Ross and the Supremes. You know what I mean? It's one collective.
Yes, it's the Supremes. It's the Miracles.
So when I see World Clash flyer Ricky's photo is big like this, and then we're like lined up behind him or whatever. I said chin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're doing Mighty Crown, all them line up proper. You know what I mean? You might look at it like a little thing or I'm nitpicking, but I take that seriously because it's a collective.
Yeah.
It's not one man.
And you could understand, especially you being on the inside, you could understand the dynamics that will bring to the crew. You know what I mean? Where, okay, it seems like the streets are saying this person, but it's all of us because this person alone can't go out and do it. It takes all of us to get
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
No, everyone is just an instrument in a well-oiled machine. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for specs, we wouldn't reach this point. If it wasn't for jamming, doing certain things, we wouldn't reach this. If it wasn't for a tool, if it wasn't for a cess, you know what I mean? Fatal. Every man had a role. Suspense, Droopy. Every man has sacrificed something. Ricky has sacrificed. I have sacrificed. It's not no one man thing.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I will forever say a team effort versus one man thing, because a lot of people out there only really knew about us because of World Clash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. So they don't understand how it started.
Yeah.
And realize it's a team. If you don't like me, you might say, oh, well, forget him. This person is the man. Or if you don't like Ricky or you don't like Specs, you side with the next man. I don't care for that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because it's a team.
Yeah. There's no I in team. There's
it's
only
a team that
us
has brought us to this point. No one man has brought us to this point. A team, a collective of people that had the same vision has brought us to this point.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. Right? So if someone says anything different,
yeah, different story. And I get you, you know what I mean? And I totally understand that. So moving forward, what's next for King Turbo right now? What could we see the sound? Where's the sound? What's the direction that the sound is taking right now?
Well, like, I mean, it never stops, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It never stops. We just need to, first of all, sit down and restart.
Okay.
That, in my opinion, that needs to happen. You know what I mean?
And I could 100%, man to man, brethren to brethren, agree with you 10,000%. You know what I mean? It's almost like grew up with Michael Jackson, seeing him at the pinnacle, and then seeing all these allegations come and start tearing him down. This is your hero. You know what I mean? To see your hero almost fall from grace, it's like, Mike, could you do something? Push the reset button. We're here for you. Just push that button, realize there's a problem, and fix it, and let's go.
And at the same time, you can't, if someone doesn't want to change, you can't change them. You have to leave them be in a certain way. You know what I mean? But I really honestly feel like it's a collective. You know, it's, yes, we won the World Clash and all that. You know, it's great, but that's not the rest of the story.
Yeah.
There's, like, I mean, I'm doing production now. I took a time off from production.
Okay.
So I'm back in the studios doing work. Look out for some of the stuff coming out.
Okay.
You know, a lot of things that is away from the sound, playing music per se, is what I'm really focused on. But anything that involves the sound, people link me to, like, I mean, when I play, it's not like a yell scream thing. It's more educational, you know what I mean?
For sure, because that's your vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like to know the root of what you're playing.
And everybody, you can see flyers. Everybody's playing here and there and everywhere, you know what I mean? So it's still going on. Because we did this rock thing last night. One of these days, so it was pure rock music. So it was me and starting from scratch, and we're playing pure rock music, you know what I mean? So, and people from all walks of life were there, you know? So those are things that I'm on right now. As for the sound, I think the reset button needs to be set, and then every man talk up and do what, and big man thing, you know what I mean? And because, again, we're considered an institution. It's not like,
of course, it's not a sound boss. It's not a sound.
And you can't imagery bringing yourself down or make people. It's bad enough that there are people on the outside try to bring you down. You can't be on the inside and bring people down. You know what I mean?
Doesn't make any sense.
It don't make no sense. You know.
You know what? I love your honesty, Shot. As I told you, we'll be talking, but we're not gonna get too crazy because the legacy is bigger than this This one issue that's happening around the sound right now. You have 30 years of legacy.
Yeah, man.
You know
30
what I mean?
years, man.
30 years.
30 years of battling out Bass Odyssey when we clashed Bass Odyssey in Montreal. And we took that clash. It was with Squingy and Mark. And we took it from them, and it was us, Bass Odyssey, Little Thunder, and
Rebel Tone. Yeah.
And we took it. You know what I mean? And then they came back and took it from us in Toronto.
But you're forgetting a part. Remember, you guys were the first ones to actually cut the Marcia Griffiths and Bob Andy. Was it Marcia Griffiths and Bob?
Barris.
Marcia and Barris together.
Yeah.
And then remember, it was either the week after or the next night after. They came and played it first round.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you about that one. Like, I mean, we went to Barris and Marcia was here in Toronto. At that time, there was no, you cut the artists together.
Yeah.
So Barris and Marcia were here. We'd never had a Bear Salmon dub before.
Okay.
Never had a Bear Salmon. Yeah. Specs had in on Marcia. Marcia said, come to Montreal and we'll get it done.
Yeah.
They didn't think we were going to come from Toronto to Montreal the next day. So me, Specs, and Jamin just drove to Montreal and we waited. They had their show.
Yeah.
They didn't voice that night. In the morning, just before they go on their tour bus, Specs link Marcia, make it happen. And then we got that dub. And then we played it on Bass Odyssey and the rest of them in Montreal. And Squingy said to us, you know what? There's no dubs that you guys should have that we can't play. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he said. Yeah.
And he got Father Keith to cut the tune. The very next clash we did like a week or two after the Montreal, the man just beat off the tune.
First row.
Beat. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
The man just beat off the Bears. I didn't think he's going to get it like that, man. The man,
at least let me live.
You know what I mean? The thing we were holding ready to go, the man just beat off that and tell us to go full up.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I remember he kicked out the roof that night there in the banquet hall. I remember that night.
You got some kick in Montreal though.
Yeah,
but
I remember.
You got some beating in Montreal. You know what I mean? But, it is what it is.
It's the game.
It's the game,
It's the game. I have a round called Rapid Facts. But before I get to Rapid Facts, there's one question I want to ask you. Name your 3 favorite dubs in your box. And why?
Oh my gosh. Wow. My 3 favorite dubs.
Your 3 favorite dubs and why?
Okay. Dennis Brown, Leroy Siblis.
Okay. Why?
It's just the whole atmosphere and getting that dub. It was just one of those moments, that just imprint in my mind in Ron Nelson's studio. Spear Smoke.
Okay.
And I mean, Leroy Siblis came with just for us.
Yeah.
And Red Flame was there as well.
Okay.
Red Flame wanted to get a Leroy Siblis, Dennis Brown dub, and Leroy Siblis just told him no. You know what I mean? I just came for King Turbo. Yeah, man. Yeah. And then he left. And when we were mixing that dub, Dennis Brown was laying down in the couch at the back.
Yeah.
So he was listening to us do the reverb and EQing and all that. And then when he heard something, he was like, yeah, man. Yeah, so he was listening, but he was laying down, but he was listening and he was interacting. So it was just the whole experience with that one.
That's amazing. That's big.
Another one would be Luciano on doing the acoustic guitar.
Yes.
It's Me Again, Ja. That was done in our studio.
Okay.
Yeah, voiced it up at our studio. Even that experience, the lights were dim. The pot light, just beer smoke, beam off the pot light. The lights were dim. You just saw Luciano, just a silhouette Luciano with his guitar. The man them inside the booth. And he just played so beautiful, man. It's just like, wow. That was just a magical moment right there. Sure. You know what I mean? The man, a couple of the man, I think even shed tears.
For sure. It was just that energy. Yeah. You can't get that energy.
The soulfulness of that whole experience. You know what I mean? My third. Third. Boy, I don't know what's that. I would have to give that to Smith & Wesson.
Okay.
If I was just to do this right up top of my head, I'm sure if I went home and thought about it, I'd say something different. You know what I mean?
Why the Smith and Wesson?
Because I guess the effect that it created when we first got it.
Yeah.
When we got Smith and Wesson, it was like when they were just out. You know what I mean? So we were voicing hip hop dubs before songs really voiced hip hop dubs.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? With exception with like, you know, the Addies and thing. But we kind of, on Canada-wise, we're the ones doing the hip-hop dubs. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And just to see that vision manifest when we did the tag team clash with us and Studio Mix versus Mighty Crown and
King Addies.
King Addies. And when that dub played, man, oh my God.
That, you know what, now you said it, that right there shook Mighty Crown's entire hip-hop round. They couldn't, they came in and tried to play again, and the people them were not receptive to those dubs at all.
Yeah, that dub, when that dropped that night, and it's on YouTube too, but like being in that place and when that dub dropped, that was one of the biggest flowers I've ever seen personally. And even experienced, you know what I mean? Just the whole energy led up to that. And even with that dub, I had set out the rounds for the man them to play.
Yes, I remember.
And then Ron came to me and said, you guys have like something like 50 seconds or 20 seconds or something like that. In my ears, I wasn't watching the clock. And I turned around, looked at the clock, and I said, Specs, Smith and Wesson, them know. You know what I mean? And then when it beat, even when the song stopped, the whole crowd just, the chorus just echo out. You know, it was just crazy. So I would say Smith and Wesson just with the experience. You know?
Did you guys actually voice that up here, or you guys voiced that in the States?
We voiced that here.
It was here. How did you guys even decide to voice a Smith and Wesson?
It's just, we grew up on hip hop, man. You know? Dubs.
Yeah.
If I can get, you know, we got Special Ed on dub, like, you know, if whoever we can get. I was trying to get Busta Rhymes when he just came out with, okay. You know what I mean? We're on it. You know what I mean? So, because we grew up on hip hop, so we appreciate that. And the fact is that not everyone had it. How do we get one up on the next everybody else?
Yeah, it was always thinking.
Yeah.
And I mean, how could we fix them up?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fix up their business.
Okay, we don't have as much dubs as this person, but we have this. You know what I mean? So it's just that thought and the fact that we respected hip hop and grew up on that, you know?
Yeah. That's crazy. Amazing stories. This round here is called Rapid Facts Round. I'm going to ask you some quick questions. You just spit out an answer quickly. I will keep it. It's nothing crazy. Trust me. When you get into it, you'll understand. All right?
All right.
What's the wallpaper on your phone?
The what?
Wallpaper.
Just regular wallpaper.
All right. I figured. What was the last thing you Googled?
The last thing I Googled was Ken Curry.
All right. Good. Fast food or home cooking?
Home cooking. Man.
All right. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a cooker or a cleaner?
Both.
You're both.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one, cooker or cleaner?
Oh, probably cook.
Cook. All right. When it comes to reggae music, what do you prefer, dancehall or lovers rock?
Lovers rock.
Lovers rock. I figured you'd say that. Okay. Who's the last person you called or text?
The last person I called or text was you.
All right. It makes sense. Okay. Where was the last place you've been on vacation?
The last place I've been on vacation. That means excluding from sound.
Yeah. You said you packed up either you and your family, you by yourself, or whatever.
Dominican Republic.
All right. That's a big one. Okay. What is your hobby?
Read.
Read? Very smart. What kind of stuff you like to read?
Everything. More like, for example, history on stuff. Non-fiction, like facts. I like facts.
Yeah, you've always struck me as that type of person. I mean, you like to know the history of something, so it's all facts.
Yeah,
you
facts.
Know what I mean?
From I was small, I used to like go into the library like when I was small and go into the rock and roll music area and just read on the history of rock and roll when I was 10, 11, you know what I mean? So that's my thing.
To know.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last song playing in your car?
The last song playing in my car was Thank You Next.
Good.
Or next to next or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, when it comes to food, what do you prefer, curry goat or oxtail?
Curry goat.
There you go. Big one. Okay. What's your favorite song of all time?
Wow. Song of all time.
Of all time.
Man, I don't have one, man. Every song is important to me in a certain way. I can't.
There has to be a song that just hits you a certain way.
But different songs hit me certain ways, man. Like I can. There's one point where Trey Songz's Moments hit me in a way. Or Bitty McLean, you know, A Walk Away from Love. Or I can go into Lovely Day. I can go into like Ace, How Long Has This Been Going On?
Yeah.
Or maybe AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like certain songs hit me a certain way, man. Bob Marley, whatever, you know? So
Okay,
I
so
can't
then-
really answer that.
How about this? Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Bob Marley.
Okay. You see, that was much easier.
Yeah.
One word or phrase you say too much.
I don't know if it's a word or phrase, but
If you know shot, that's really shot right there. 100%. That one, I got you. Okay. Are you an early bird or a late owl?
early bird.
Early bird.
Yeah.
Okay, last one here. When it comes to social media, what is your favorite platform and why?
Okay. My favorite platform would be if I had to pick, I would say maybe Instagram.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. It's more. I think it's more user friendly for me.
Makes sense.
For me.
There was one last one here. I thought that was last, but this is the last one. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, there were different stages. I wanted to be an architect at one point, and then when I wanted to be a professional DJ.
Okay. Which you accomplished.
To some extent, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Got the fame.
Yeah.
Got the fame. Yes, I got the fame of that part. Yeah.
I got you. That's the end of our rapid facts round.
Yeah.
This brings us down to now. The floor is yours. Anything you want to say, anybody you want to big up, anything. The floor is 100% yours, Shaq.
Well, just again, thank you to everyone that supported the sound. It's been 30 years on the road. It's been amazing. Some ups, some downs, but the fact that it's the fans that has kept us going, and I say that 150%. Sometimes when I feel like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna stop this.
Yeah. It's
the people coming up to me and saying, how they appreciate what we've done and what we stand for, So big up everybody, you know what I mean? It is what it is. At the end of the day, we've been doing it for quite some time, and, it's all love,
That's it. Question before I get you out of here. How did you even get your name, Slingshot?
I had a slingshot. I had a slingshot.
Yeah. Just that simple.
Yeah, I had a
What was
slingshot.
your name before Slingshot?
Popadi.
Popadi.
Yeah, that was my DJ name.
Yeah.
So Phenomena 1, Phenomena 2, Phenomena and 3. Alisa, you know what I mean? Popadi, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, but, as I kind of found myself, I just took the name Slingshot because that's what I had on me all the time, you know what I mean? So
makes sense. You know what? One of these days I want to hear that first dub too. You still have that first dub?
I must have it somewhere, man.
Yeah.
I must have it because I played it on the morning ride one time. So,
Okay.
And embarrassed Gary. You know what I mean? But I should have it.
Yeah.
I have we have so many dub boxes. I don't have all the dub boxes I don't have them, but I have DATs. I have ADATs. Sometimes I listen to songs that I totally forgot about. We have so many tunes now.
Yeah.
That's a curse.
Yeah.
Having so many tunes, because when we didn't have as many tunes, we knew to concentrate on this batch.
Yeah.
But when you have so many tunes now, it's just like, where do you go? you know,
what do I do?
Do I try something out or do I, you know, what works? People want to hear, you know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it goes still. That's how I got my name, you know?
Yeah. Shat, amazing podcast, Big Boss.
Respect, man.
Thank you so very much for coming through. We've learned a lot. A lot.
I thought you were gonna ask me about sound, like different songs in Canada and the history of the sound system and Jamaican culture from '60s up.
We're gonna get there. You know, you can't cover 30 years of what's in your head in one podcast.
Right,
we got to do this over and over again.
It's all
you
good,
know what I mean?
It's all good.
Big Boss, amazing.
Respect, man.
You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle for another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.